So tonight I'm just going to do a watercolour landscape demonstration of this photo that you can see here from Cronulla. Beautiful first light in the morning, and I just love the blues up in the sky, that bit of white, the light on the horizon, the slight reflection on the line coming across. Just all really nice, a little bit of landmass underneath that cloud. Really beautiful photo. So we'll see how we go using that as a reference and a starting point. So I'm going to start by wetting the whole page. All the paints, paper, brushes will be in the description below, so check that out. This is my old Holbein hake, and you can see here what's happening with the bristles. When I wet it, it does this division thing into bits, so it's probably time for this one to go, but I'm just keeping it because I had it for so many years. But I really shouldn't use it because that is annoying. So if you have a brush doing that, it's probably time to get a new one. So I'll just wet the page all over. I'm just going to come in with a little bit of Raw Sienna to begin with. You could use yellow ochre as well. Just going through a slight Raw Sienna phase at the moment. Just going to bring that in on the horizon there. Just going to make it a bit stronger. And I'm going to bring it in down here. I've run out of tissues. I'm using a towel. So I'm just going to take a little bit out here. Take a little bit out there. Beautiful. Just going to rinse my brush out. Just going to feather a bit here on the horizon just to weaken that off a bit here. And now what we're going to do is come in with a bit of Cerulean Blue. Up in this top part, but we're going to leave a bit of white. Doesn't have to be exactly. Just leaving a little bit of white and then coming in pretty strongly down here. We'll get a little bit of Cobalt Blue, mix that just to get a little bit more cerulean, just a bit more strength up in there, a little bit more up in here. Give a bit more contrast with the white. Excellent, a little bit up there. Excellent. I might just rinse out. Grab a bit of that mix. Cobalt Blue, light red. And I might just weaken that off for a second. I just generally like to come in weaker first. So I'm going to come in here first. You can see there's some really weak bits up in there, up in here, down in here. I'm going to go stronger now. Stronger up in here, down into here, and then we go pretty strong on this line across here. Just looking at shapes. I'm just looking and then letting my brush just dance across. Going to come in a little bit darker here, so we get a little bit of that, even though it's not exactly the right tone. to get a little bit of that contrast. Just going to come in with a pretty dry one-inch hake that's got a little bit of raw sienna in there. It's just creating a little bit of that detail. Let's just dry this. One thing I just want to do for a second is just grab a little bit of raw sienna and just bring it straight into this cloud here. Just one swipe. I'm definitely missing my tissues tonight. I would have used tissues to lift out some of this cerulean blue to make more of a contrast here. I would have got some more crispy edges here. Yeah, I find it very difficult without tissues. Let's cordon off her horizon. I'm just going to make it a tiny bit lower than I first planned. You could of course measure this if you're really worried about it not being quite right. So press down firmly. This is 3M Magic Tape, which I can use on this Rives if I'm really careful taking it off and I use the hairdryer. Alright, so I'm just using the mix of Cobalt Blue Light Red. I'm just adding a little bit more light red, a little bit of the Raw Sienna. I've added a bit of the Cobalt Turquoise. I'm just looking at the photo and then seeing where I can take it. So I think that I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, missing tissues again. Just going to bring down here a bit of a light, bit of a general light across here, the towel. General light here. Just going to add a little bit of Paynes Grey to make it go a bit darker. Get a little bit more strength. More strength here. More strength in here. A few bits in here. Going to bring it across here a little bit. Let's get the towel again. Just get a little bit of light coming out here. Jeez, it's hard with a towel. Gee whiz. Alright, I think that'll do for now. Let's lift this tape up. I'll get the hairdryer. So we'll just finish this off, and I'm just going to put a little bit of a landmass in there. As you can see from the photo, there is some, and it's not much. but it is a little bit. And also it helps me to disguise those bit of paint that came up above the tape. So again, I could tape off the bottom part here, but I don't think I really need to. I'm just going to come in here with this synthetic round sable. Just bring in this landmass. And I could, if I wanted to, leave some bits of light. Just for a bit of interest's sake, just a little bit of light on the horizon there. Lovely. You know, if I wanted to add a little bit of, you know, if there was anything in the photo of a little bit of something on the horizon, like the suggestion of trees or anything like that, then I could come in with this round and do that. So let's just finish drying this and then we'll have a look. So actually when I look back at this from a distance, I really quite like it. It was maybe good for me to not have tissues, to not do... I use tissues so many times. I would have tried to lift out some lights here in the surf to give a bit more crispness. I would have lifted out some lights here, lifted out some lights here. You know, I would have done a lot of things. I would have lifted out some more lights here, but I can't really come in with a damp brush and then use the towel. It just won't work. So actually when I stood back from this, from a distance, I quite like it. I'll show you a few photos now of it framed so that you can see what that looks like. So have a look at this frame now, and you know, I think the reason why I think this works is just the warms and the cools. There's this bit of warmth here, bit of warmth here. This is what catches your eye, even though this is lovely and there's some white of the page, you think that would, but it's this contrast here between dark and warm, you know, and even this, you know, cooled warm here against this warm here. It's really quite nice, and I love this sort of neutral grey here. It's really nice. So thanks for joining me tonight in this simple watercolour landscape demonstration tonight of this seascape down at Cronulla. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, I'd love it if you pressed the thumbs up, gave it a like. If you want to know about future videos, then press the subscribe button, press the bell button. And if you want some more help with your painting and watercolours, then you can join me on Patreon. The link is in the description below. And there's some great lessons on there and courses and things. So thanks very much for your support, and I'll see you next week. Good night.